welcome to another edition of No Stingy Energy Podcast, where we talk health, wealth, relationships, and all of the above. But today, man, listen, man, we got my guy Sawand in the building, all the way from the Carolinas, man.
Absolutely,
man. Good to see you, man.
Wonderful to be seen, bro.
Yeah, man. So what's going on, man? Let the people know who may not know. Who is Mr. Sawand?
Well, bro. Well, first of all, thank you for having me in your presence, bro. Yeah, absolutely. I love your office. Love what you got going on.
Appreciate it.
And Texas is a vibe. Houston is the vibe, bro.
No doubt,
bro. It's a vibe. We've been having an amazing time down here. We came in on Wednesday.
Yeah.
We always like to come in early so we can get the husband wife time in.
No doubt.
Yeah, but my name's Sawand Belcher. This is me taking action. That's typically how people gonna find me or see me. But been full-time real estate investor for the last 7 years, and I look at real estate investing as like tiers. It's not that we're wholesalers. It's not that we're rehabbers. It's not that we're landlords. We're all 4 in 1. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that's the way I run my business to this day.
Bro, I love that you said that. Right? It's funny because we were just having this conversation. Matter of fact, I was having this conversation with Byron.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how. Because, I would consider myself primarily a wholesaler, right? With a little bit of creative finance in there as well. But what I realized, right, is that all strategies don't work for all markets.
Facts.
I think what's happened was we were lucky because in that time period, wholesaling was great, right? It's still great if you know what I mean? It's still
Absolutely.
Great. But every market doesn't speak to that specific strategy at all times.
Absolutely.
So is that something you knew before, or you just kind of was like, man, I'm just trying everything. I'm throwing it all against the wall. If it fit.
Well, no, it's been like a transitional thing for us. See, like our first house was a rental. Our second house was our personal home. Our third house was a creative deal. You know what I'm saying? That's the third deal. That's when wholesaling came in. Fourth and fifth deal. That's when lease options came in. And then the next 10 deals was like subject to. So at that point, after I had did all of those deals together, I'm like, well, I need to scale knowing I can do all of these things. You know what I'm saying?
So you built your business.
Yeah, on knowing I have multiple exit strategies.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's when I left the car dealership at that point, after about 10 deals. Yeah.
So, man, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
So basically what you're saying is you just kind of like took a deal, analyzed the deal for what made the most sense.
Yeah, well, what the seller would agree to.
Got you.
So we always offer cash first.
Okay.
If they say no to the cash, that's when we move to seller financing if it's paid for, or subject to if they have a mortgage. Okay. And then lastly, we'll do we'll sell leads to our realtors for a fee. And so we kind of go down the gamut and let them choose. See, and I came up with this because we did it at the car dealership. See, what they trained us at the car dealership was at the movie theater. There's 3 size popcorns, not because it's a different kind of popcorn. It's all popcorn in each bag.
Absolutely.
But the movie theater directs you towards which popcorn makes them the most amount of money on average. So that's why the small popcorn is $6. But it's like really small for $6.
Absolutely.
But for only 75 cents, you can get this medium popcorn that's a lot bigger. But the large one is like $12.
Yeah.
And that's because they want you to choose the middle one.
Gotcha.
And so every seller will sell to you depending on what you say to them. And so if you can gather up those things that they're saying to you and then point them to the right offer, cash, seller financing, or subject to, or selling it to a realtor, then they'll always say yes to you. So that's that was dope. Yeah, that's kind of.
So what you saying is the movie theater make the most money on the medium.
Facts.
And you thinking you get the best deal too. Everybody winning.
Exactly.
We cooking early. So tell me this. So why real estate, bro? Like it's a million things, right? You coming from car dealer, from the car dealership, and you like, yo, I want to flip some houses. Like, well, that's random, huh?
Well, it's honestly, I tried a bunch of different stuff. Not a bunch. I tried a few different things.
Okay.
But when I was at the car dealership, I was making $100,000, and I was pretty young.
Yeah.
So my finance manager said, "Hey, bro, what are you doing with all this money?" And so he's the one that kind of directed me, hey, you should buy a house.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, literally, I didn't listen to him then, but a couple months later, he actually set up an appointment for me to get pre-qualified as state employees. So that's how I ended up getting the first one. But I did, when I realized, we could buy a house, I did try a trucking company, and we still have the trucking company. We still haul cars. I did try to sell roofs. But the thing that stuck with me was the real estate. Because that was like it was, in my opinion, it was easier. It was cleaner. Like I could sit down, open my laptop, go to work. If I wanted to be on vacation, I could still work. Yeah. And roofs, honestly, bro, I'm afraid of heights. I didn't realize I was afraid of heights until I started jumping on roofs.
This ain't for me.
Yeah, but I saw the potential though. Especially when I did that wholesale deal. I'm like, well, that's tasteful.
So tell me this. So the roof thing, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of into that space, right? Yeah. A little bit. What
roofing sales is dope.
Roofing sales are dope.
Yeah. It's honestly a company that I would buy.
Yeah. Easy work.
Yeah.
So we literally just had 4 roof quotes today.
Nice.
Yeah, 4. So hopefully we get all 4. That'd be great.
That'd be awesome.
But what? So what drove you to say real estate? I mean, just.
Well, like I said, it kept my hands clean. So, first of all, Mike Starkey. So I didn't believe at that time that my credit was clean enough. I didn't believe that I made enough money, all those normal kinds of things. And so when state employees said that they would give me $119,000 to buy a house, it's lit, So I went and I had sold a car to Jackie Graves. Yeah. And I promised her at that time, since you bought a car from me, whenever I get ready to buy a house, I come to you. Yeah. So that's how I linked up with her. And so whenever that was, we ended up buying it. And I don't know. It's something about real estate. Like I said, the roofs, that was cool because I was a good salesperson. Yeah. The trucking company, it wasn't any like emotional attachment. Yeah. But the real estate it just stuck with me.
So tell me this, sales wise, so you mentioned you're a good salesman. Why do you think you're a good salesman?
Oh, because I am. You see how I started off the introduction? Yeah. See, I understand that the introduction is the first perception. Absolutely. People gonna watch longer. Bro, I cook. We don't even have to go back to the popcorn statement. I mean, no. Yeah. At the car dealership, I'm so grateful that I came in during that time because they taught us that we are angry, but that is energy, and you just need to put it in certain places. Yeah. So they would. When we get there at 9, right, we were supposed to start checking our emails and making 10 phone calls. Gotcha. 10, very specific. Yeah. At 9:30, we would have our meetings. Yeah. In our meetings, we would go over how many cars we sold yesterday. We would give congratulations. Yeah. And then they would also tell us about the marketing that they just sent out. And, for the people that we would talk to during the day, we could share that marketing. Yeah. Because if people called in from a mailer or a billboard that they just picked up, they want us to say a certain thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. We did trade roll to figure out right after that what cars came in on trade so we could sell later on that day. At 10:30, if you didn't sell 15 cars, then you would go into sales trading for the next 30 minutes until 11. Wow. At 12, there was a check-in. At 2, 4, 6, and at 8, you leave. You see, what coming in under leadership like that teaches you how to manage your time, teaches you sales and marketing.
Also and then, the most important things to work on.
Absolutely. And so when you come in under a good leader like that, when they understand TOs, when they understand when to cuss people out, when they understand when to be soft, when they understand to whisper, that you just become a natural salesperson.
Tell me this, do you feel like that skill alone and that training alone?
Absolutely. I can make $1 million with just that training.
Just that training.
Yeah, just that training. And we were already making millions at the dealership. Gotcha. That's what most average salespeople didn't realize. We were already millionaires. Because if you think about selling a car for $40,000, and we had to sell 15, 20 cars a month, we were already making $100,000 a month. But we wasn't in a position to
profit.
Exactly. We wasn't in a position to delegate the funds the way we saw fit. You see what I'm saying? So we were already millionaires, but just not led up to that point yet.
You were making millions for somebody else.
Exactly. And so when I did the math, I'm like, I got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
You know? Well, you know, so can I cuss?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Come on, bro.
But no, that's the car dealership really helped me with sales. Helped me learn how to mirror. Helped us, you know, figure out what good book. We was reading The Compound Effect at the dealership. You know what I mean? We're reading books.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
What I like about what you just said.
Such a good time.
That's so important. And I hope everybody that's listening to this takes heed of this. He literally said he started the conversation. I mean, he started the day with 10 calls.
Absolutely.
And what a lot of people don't realize is that is the most valuable use of your time.
Right.
Is on the phone closing a deal. A lot of times in sales positions, or a lot of people, when I found a lot of new people in the real estate space, they'll start scrolling the internet looking for leads.
Yeah.
Scrolling, you know, looking at just whatever, anything other than hopping on the phone, having a conversation with somebody that's willing to give you some money in exchange for value.
Absolutely. No, I'm telling you, the dealership was hype because they didn't know that they were training us on making sure you were doing income-driven skills, but that's what they were doing. They were making sure we were doing the income-driving skills, setting up appointments, talking to people, making offers. How many write-ups did you do today? How many people did you pitch today? How many appointments did you set up for tomorrow? And it's the same thing. My general manager, I thank him consistently, maybe quarterly. I send him text messages and thank him for teaching me all of this stuff during that time. Because what he said was, we were never in the car business. We were just in business. And so those things that I learned from there, I set up my business the same way. When I do marketing, when I do RVMs, I let the salespeople know what I did. You know, I say, yo, I'm about to send out an RVM. We're targeting pre-foreclosures, and this is my pitch. You know, so you need to make sure you sound a certain way. You know, whenever he sends out offers via DocuSign, I show him, hey, look, bro, you know, you got a deal today. Congratulations. How many contracts did you have to send in order for you to get this deal? Oh, I don't know. Well, let's go back through DocuSign and count. You know what I mean? And so when he knows that, now he has, you know, a directed path. So, you know, like I said, I'm grateful to come through that time with the dealership, bro.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And so nowadays, right, you're doing deals, you're doing a little bit of everything.
Absolutely.
What would you say? Are you still utilizing those sales skills directly? Or are you?
Yes.
Or is it more your team?
No. So I haven't been blessed enough yet to actually be absent from the business.
Gotcha.
You know, God gave me so this is how.
May not be a blessing, by the way.
Well, for sure. So there's pros and cons to everything.
Yeah.
You know, and I love my business. It works just the way I love it. I really do. But so at one point we had, you know, maybe 10 guys in the office. Okay. And it was just amazing. We're doing 100 deals a year, but our average deal size was only like, you know, $7,800, $8,000. So when COVID came, people were in and out of the office and my numbers was always down as far as people in the office helping out. So I changed up my model. Shout out to Clubhouse. So I changed up my model from paying people for training, spending my time to train them, giving people alley-oops to help them feel good, to stay longer. I changed that up, you know, to let people pay me to teach them, and then I buy from them. So now I'm no money to get people to, you know, to help me with acquisitions. They pay me, you know. I help them by buying the deal from them. So I buy everything myself.
Gotcha.
And so I still do have my three, you know, like VAs, you know, Sarah, you know, Camille and Sam in the Philippines. I have one acquisition person, and but I mainly, you know, I'm still a huge part of my business because he doesn't hear a deal when he's on the phone. Yeah. But when I hear him talk, you know, I can hear the deal, and I say, bro, that's it. That's it right there. But that lights a fire in him. He gets motivated. He gets it on the contract, and so, but. You know, you said something real quick though. You said that you changed, bro. This is powerful. You said you changed your strategy from training people, absolutely, to work for your company, absolutely, and then sifting through the talent that may be there or may not be there, right, to charging them, right, for you to train them, facts, and then bring you deals, right, because it's the same training. Is you training your acquisition people? It's the same training that you're training your students. That's what people don't understand. I'm like, oh, you sell courses, you sell mentorship. Either way, I had to train people in my office.
Facts.
You know.
And so the beauty of that is now, not only do you have somebody that wants.
Yes. Most important part, that wants to do the work.
Wants to do the work.
Yes. They've been waiting for a person to help them do this.
And it's mutually beneficial because not only are they wanting to do the work, but they're also in a situation where they can sell you direct deals and make money.
Absolutely.
That quick.
Yeah, they got a guaranteed buyer. Because, I mean, how much does your confidence go up when you know you have a guaranteed exit strategy doing your first deal? Most people are hesitant or fearful because they're like, well, I'm blind to this seller.
Right
yeah.
there, bro.
Yeah.
This is why that was genius. Because here's the thing. I've you know what, bro? I've done something similar to this.
Yeah.
But I've never thought about making it out to be like a business.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the way I pitch it. No, that's the way I let people know, you know, the reason why I'm able to guarantee you a deal is because you can sell the deal that I teach you to find to me. That's
genius, bro.
Yeah.
That is genius. so tell me this. Okay, so how many students are you typically looking to kind of help out in any given?
Right now I have 6.
Okay.
Yeah, right now I have 6. So if you want to see it in a different way, right now I have 6 acquisitions.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you just think about it a little different. So, but right now I have 6, and everybody typically stays with me for 90 days, but they have the option to stay with me longer if they would like.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
And them staying with you is contingent on them paying you, obviously.
Exactly.
But the beauty of it is if they source enough deals.
Absolutely. Then I say, hey, you're good enough on your own. Just send me whatever you get. Exactly. It helps out with the marketing expense. You know, it helps with your overall personal self because sometimes, you know, you really get down with spending a lot of money on payroll, but yet they're not performing. Yeah. And you really struggle with that, you know.
Yeah, because now you got to have rough conversations.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's like, and on top of that, and you got to have a joyful conversation with the next person that you're bringing in. Exactly. That's probably may or may not waste your time.
Exactly. And you know, culture is crazy in the office.
Facts.
You know, so if the first guy is not, you know, culturally sound, if he's not getting deals, if he's not excited about being there, and you bring in a second guy, it's done. Yeah, both of them gone.
Yeah. Because they gonna get together and they gonna be complaining about you.
Exactly.
And watching your pocket.
Exactly. It's like, bro, well, how did he just get 3 deals? You know, it's like, bro, we calling through the same leads, bro.
Yo, this is real talk. This is the beauty of talking to people who do the business, opposed to theoretically think they understand.
Well, that's a fact. Yeah, that's a fact.
Because see, people who theoretically think they understand the business wouldn't have that conversation. They gonna say, "Well, Sawand, why didn't you just?" Yeah. Well, Sawand, why didn't you just? What do you say to those people?
Well, I always tell people it's harder than what you think it is. Like, I know you have an opinion about it and you haven't done it. Yeah. But everything that we do in life is always harder than what you think it is. It's going to take way more effort, way more time, and way more money to do what you actually think.
Ever thought it was going to
Exactly. Take. So for whatever that is, including real estate. And so it is what it is.
Wow. Yeah. Bro, did you tell me you had 6 kids?
6 big dog. So I got 5 girls. One just started her period over the weekend. Oh my God.
She's a teenager. Yo, wait a minute.
Right. And I got thank God for Elijah. I got 1 boy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He's the youngest.
Yeah. No, he's number 4.
Number 4.
Yeah. Well, we finally. So that's what I was telling Brian.
Just old enough to be a cock blocker for like a couple of them, but not everybody.
Exactly. Exactly.
Not everybody.
Elijah's awesome, bro. Elijah.
Got you.
No, me and my wife finally agreed that we wasn't gonna have any kids after 4, but neither one of us did anything about it. So finally after 6, I was like, not again.
So wait a minute. 6 children.
Oh yeah.
Full entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
You talking about adding some goats and some chickens?
Absolutely. So we got 22 acres. We live on 22 acres.
22 acres.
Yeah, 22 acres.
My Jesus. That's the big joint.
Yeah. Yeah.
So wait a minute, and you bought that deal creatively too, right?
Absolutely. So this is what I always tell all of my students, that, you know, God told me a long time ago that everything that you do gonna turn to gold. That's just one thing that he blessed me with.
Yeah.
You know, which is why I have to be around my acquisitions and stuff for me to get the, you know, that's anyway.
Yeah.
So, and another thing he hit me with a couple years later was that your house is in your leads. And so I tell my students that you looking for a house, it's in your leads. You know, the house that you want is in your leads.
Facts.
And so instead of me, because you know how we'll pull like high absentee equity and Well, so I was like, well, babe, what kind of house do we want? So I went right on ListSource, you know, 5 bedrooms. We want at least 5 baths. Yeah. We want at least 4,000 square feet, and we want at least 16 acres. And so I just started we made offers for 3 years, you know, 3 years on, you know, on estates. We wanted an estate, you know, 8 acres or more. And the beautiful thing is the way we're real estate investors, so we're able to be creative and come up with different streams of income to have it pay for itself. So it's not fully paying for itself right now, but it's really getting there. It's really we've been there for about a year. Yeah. No, well, so this is the way it goes. So if you can imagine like 22 acres, it's pretty good size.
Yeah.
It's 5 driveways. And if you can imagine how big 22 acres is, somebody can come in one driveway and not know that there's another driveway in the back.
Wow.
So that means you can create income potential, right? So one portion we have cleared, and that's about 5 acres.
Yeah.
There we have youth football games and youth soccer games. Okay. Another acre is where we have our parking lot, and that's about 2.5 acres that's cleared out right there. So people come down the road to one driveway and they park in this parking lot.
Wow.
I got it cleared out to have this like pathway, so that way you come through the pathway and there's like a big pergola right there.
Yeah.
Some people have weddings and family reunions in the pergola.
Wow.
But you continue to go down the pathway and then there's the field. So, you know, so these youth teams, they pay me to have their practices and their games there. So we typically do, right now, our schedule is Tuesday, Thursday practices from 5 to 7:30. Yeah. And then on Saturday are the games. Sometimes on Sunday they'll have games too, but that's what it is. So when they come out, we make $500 a day. So
wow.
To stay at home. Yeah.
My Jesus.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. So wait a minute. So you bought a mansion, essentially.
Yeah.
On 22 acres.
Yeah.
That is close to paying for itself.
Absolutely.
The actual asset itself.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So my total expenses is about $4,800, and we're at like $2,600. So the next income stream is my Airbnb camper. I actually just got the camper, and I just got to put it in the back. I'm in the middle of setting that up now, and I'm pretty sure that's going to take it over the top. But yeah.
Pause. We just gotta pause. Just pause the whole show. You know what I'm saying? Because, bro, that is crazy. Literally, and you bought that one subject to, right?
I bought that one seller financing.
Seller financing.
Yeah, I bought that one seller financing.
How much is your interest payment?
So my interest rate is 4.25. Yeah, but the way we negotiate it, there's no interest payments for 7 years. Yeah, everything goes towards principal. Yeah.
You mean to tell me you got a full-fledged principal payment only for 7 years?
For 7 years, yeah.
And then 4 after.
Yeah. And
by that time, depending on how you set it up, the principal going to be so low, it ain't going to even matter at that point.
That's a fact. And we're going to have so much equity. Right now, the goal is actually to pay it off and just actually, get a HELOC on it and use that at that time, as our buying power. That's the big play.
So for the people who don't understand what a HELOC is and understand how you're going to use that for buying power, can you break that down?
Absolutely.
Because this is a powerful play.
Absolutely. So there's different kind of, like mortgage financing for properties.
Absolutely.
Some of them are, amortized loans. Mm-hmm. That's when a little piece of your principal and a little piece of your mortgage come out over time.
Hold on real quick, because I got to preface this real quick. Save that thought. Here's the deal, folks. The reason why this is important, I want you to clip this. I want you to literally clip this. The reason this is so important is because what he's getting ready to break down is how he utilizes his home purchase. This is why it's important to be an owner. His home purchase to be a bank for his future investments. I don't know for sure that's what he's gonna say, but we're gonna let him finish. Go ahead, cook, brother. Go ahead, cook.
And so you got an amortized note, but then you also have a line of credit note, a home equity line of credit. Mm-hmm. And the big difference is technically you could have a house that's worth $1 million, and you could have that on a card or in a check or in a bank account, but not pay any interest on it if you didn't use it. So, and you can kind of use it at your own will. So if you wanted to go out and look for the best deal, capital, equipment, or whatever, if you want to become a private lender, you can use it at your own will. You don't have to ask any permission. You can write a check out of it, just like a checkbook. Okay. So the goal is to use a home equity line. So we're paying it off, but we're going to use a home equity line of credit, so that way we can go out and buy for ourselves. And that's like my goal is I want to be able to lend $2 million a year, and I want to make 14%. So I make so right now I bring home about $300,000, but I want to do that without having as much work to do. And so I want to lend. And so this is my goal, to be a lender. It's paying off my house, getting a home equity line of credit, and then using that line of credit at that point to lend $2 million a year, making 14% on the $2 million. So I bring home my $300,000 in. So that's my overall goal. But as of right now, I'm setting up the income streams to pay for the house, to pay the house off.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? So
let's talk about this lending thing, because this is powerful. I lend money now, and I like it. I've never lost money on a loan. Yeah. That I've did. Yeah. And I credit it because, number one, I am a real estate investor who understands the dynamics of real estate investing. All right. So when I lend money, trust me, I'm going to make sure that my paperwork is paperworking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's talk about who is your ideal avatar. Yeah. If I could use that word, when you're thinking, okay, I'm finna lend some money on a deal. Who is that person?
You're hitting into the big picture, because I've taken a lot of time to think about this. But my goal, my ideal person I want to lend to is my students that I've taught. Ooh.
Keep it in the family. Yo.
You just don't understand. You don't understand, because that's the progression of things. Yeah. See, when I start them off, they wholesaler deals to me. And as they do deals themselves, they start picking up deals for themselves. And at that point, I want to be able to say, you're doing really good. I want to lend to you now. You know what I'm saying? Because we're in this forever.
And they're tested and vetted.
Yes.
Wait a minute. So they already tested. You already know if they got the potential.
We already got a relationship.
The integrity situation.
Absolutely. So that's yes. Nobody's ever asked me these questions in sequential order like this. But yeah, that's the goal.
That's beautiful. So I always preface by saying, anytime you're lending money, make sure that your paperwork is together.
Facts.
Make sure that you got some type of collateral in place.
Let me tell you what it looks like. So I just closed 12 houses between Friday and today. Okay. So I raised about $1.3 million to close these 12 houses. Okay. And so number one, when I'm pitching these people, I typically send them over like a bifold that shows a little bit about us. So it's like an about me picture, my family, what the loan notes might look like, and what the overall goal of this company is, and that kind of gets them in my funnel to follow up. And then whenever I have a deal on the contract, I typically pitch them on the terms that I need, not necessarily what they want. So, and I let them know I do that. So I know you might want something, but realistically, the success of the deal that I have, that I got under contract, that I have a plan for, can work out better if we use the terms that I bring to the table. Absolutely. Because I created the deal. I found the deal. I came up with the plan. And so I pitched them on the terms that I need. So typically 10 to 14%. If it's a flip, a bird deal, 6 months or 12 months, no payment notes. 6 to 12 months, no payment note. So that means whenever I sell or refinance, they get their full principal plus their interest back. Absolutely. And so whenever somebody says yes to that, I don't know how that came on.
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay. Yeah. Whenever I get somebody to say yes to that, I don't write up anything myself. I simply send over an email to my attorney, and I CC the private money guy, and the attorney writes up the promissory note and the deed of trust for them to review. All money goes back to the attorney. See, in order to be protected as you as the investor and them as the private money people, I like to keep that separate, especially in the beginning of your relationship with them. The promissory note, deed of trust, and the warranty deed, of course, I like to keep those things separate because it just that keeps them protected, and it keeps you protected as well. Now, one thing I typically throw in there is, of course, I like to have lender's insurance. Just like you have title insurance, your attorney can provide lender's insurance to them as well, just in case of a default.
What does that look like? Lender's insurance?
Lender's insurance, essentially, it's just like PMI, private mortgage insurance, that these big banks use. Essentially, if I default, then they can make a claim to this lender's insurance policy and pay for the foreclosure. Wow. And so I like to include that. It does cost me on my end about $890, but it's just something that I can throw in there and protect. And because really, this is not like a selfish kind of business. This is I'm looking out for each other.
Absolutely.
And then the last thing is on my insurance policies, I make sure I add them as a mortgagee. And of course, that's another thing that makes them like, oh, this guy is legit. He got insurance. I got insurance. I got a promissory note, and the deed of trust is legit.
Bro, this is mind-blowing. Here's the thing. What I love about what you just said was, because here's the deal. A lot of times when you are pitching folks for private money and different things, they don't know all of these things.
Right. None of them do.
You offer these things
right
up front. Why is that?
Well, I offer it because it's like, number one, I want to let them know that I'm the expert. You know what I'm saying? Because that gives them more confidence. Like,
but but you giving them all that security doesn't benefit you as much as it benefits them.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But at the end of the day, this is not a selfish kind of business. We need people in this business.
Absolutely.
So just like my boy Grant Cardone said, somebody's got your money in their pocket.
Facts.
They just need a reason to give it to you. And and let me tell you what this guy said to me, bro. So these days when I'm looking for new money, I'm going to. So you know how there's like a Fidelity and like a Vanguard?
Yeah.
Those are big, financial advisor companies, but there's small local ones too.
Yeah.
So I go to these small local advisement firms in my neighborhood, like in the city, and I go pitch them so they could pitch their clients, so they can lend me money. And so when you saying all of this stuff, that's what gets them to trust you,
Absolutely.
Because it's nothing. It's paperwork, It's paperwork.
You know what I love about this, right? And a lot of times people think that, oh, Byron, you just, people do this or a door is open for you. But what they don't understand is doors open after a give. What I love about what you said was you gave all of those lenders extra securities that don't benefit you.
Right.
That benefits them.
Right.
Really is consequences for you.
Facts. Facts.
You gave it to them for free.
Absolutely.
Without them having to educate themselves on the process.
Absolutely.
And now they're giving you consistent streams of income to make new investments.
Absolutely.
A lot of people think, oh, I'm not going to tell them that because that doesn't benefit me. I'm not going to tell them that because they didn't know this before they came to me. Yeah. What is in you that says, I'm just going to do the right thing just because it's the right thing?
Well, bro, I'm telling you, like, see, this whole business is dominated by older white males. I don't know if you noticed it, but I noticed it in my neighborhood. Absolutely. Older white males dominate this industry. Yeah. And so if you learn how to speak the language, one of them will let you in. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so the better you speak the language, the better you do the work, the more you perform, the more of those older white males will be open to doing business with you. Because one leads to the next one and leads to the next one and leads to the next one. Because they all group together. Yeah. They really do. They really do. And let me see, one thing I just found out is, white people have this saying called NIMBY, niggas in my backyard. Okay. And I never heard of that. I never heard of that before.
Yeah.
But a white person told me that.
Wow.
A white person told me that.
Yeah.
But they only told me that because our relationship was so strong after doing deal after deal, after doing 58 deals together.
Yeah.
That's when they finally said, it was like, yeah, that's called niggas in my backyard. And I was like, what?
Crazy.
Yeah, but you only unlock that kind of trust by being trustworthy.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? By going over and above.
Yeah,
and I know that's a little deep, that's a little transparent, but that's real shit. That's real shit. This is real nigga business.
What does that mean though? What is
Well, what is niggas in my
backyard? Yeah, what is that?
Well, like I said, older white males dominate this industry.
Gotcha.
And so realistically, if they don't want you doing something, all they have to do is not allow you to do it.
Yeah.
They don't have to sell to you. They don't have to lend to you. Yeah. They're choosing to do that. And if you don't want to do something that they want done over here, they could just say niggas in my backyard and tell their friends, don't allow him to do that over there. Don't let him buy that land. Don't lend him that money on these properties.
Wow.
Because it's with respect. Once again, this is just at a high level. This is just at a very high level. I'm sorry. Well, it's just at a very high level. But if you're open, honest, transparent, expert, you openly get better. Yeah. You have a goal, right? You do the things that you're supposed to do. Pay niggas back.
Yeah.
Then things will open up for you. And so that's all I try to do. Like I tell all of them, my goal is to be a little Fidelity, a little Vanguard.
Yeah.
I want to be the guy that says like, yo, that dude right there, he can take my 401k money and he gonna turn it up 14% by the end of the year.
Absolutely.
And that's the only way to do it. It's just to be the same kind of conversation that we're having right now. I talk to them just like that.
Wow.
And they like that because they know exactly what the fuck to expect when I talk to them.
Absolutely.
And and it just is what it is. Yeah.
It's funny, man. We talk about this all the time, and I think they say some of the best business advice.
Yep.
Right, is to do what you say you're gonna do.
Facts.
Matter of fact, doing what you say you're gonna do, having a level of integrity, beats out probably 90% of the competition off top.
Absolutely.
You just those two things right there. Listen.
Absolutely.
Whether you're in the contractor business, sales, car sales and business, realtor.
Absolutely. See one thing. So why I don't like writing something up or when they say yes I'll do it, it's because once I get my attorney involved, they instantly say like, oh dang, this guy is for real. He done got his attorney involved. We haven't even done nothing yet. Yeah. But that level of transparency in business, it goes far. It goes far.
How do you manage a household? You got a wife, you got kids,
a team.
chickens.
A team, dog. A team. We got a cleaner that comes through. Okay. No cap. Yeah. We have grandmothers. My
thank God for the grandmothers.
Absolutely. So my mom is watching the kids for the first 4 days of our trip down here.
Okay.
LaMica's parents are coming down from Ohio to watch the kids for the next 3 days, while we're down here.
Wow.
Yeah, so you need people. My boots on the ground people, Miss Elrita and Mr. Frank, they over there letting the dogs out, making sure the chickens is fed. Literally, no joke. Omad, the guy that pulls probate leads for me, I got him helping me out cut grass this week, at the Airbnbs. Because I was like, bro, I got these check-ins. I need to make sure this is straight. He's like, I got you, bro. No problem.
Wow.
So you really do have to have, once again, that overall leadership thing. That overall,
so
I can help
sales.
people. Oh, it absolutely is. Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that leadership and sales.
Oh yeah.
They go hand in hand. So let's talk about this.
Yeah.
So you got your cleaning people coming through. So how often are they coming through?
For our personal house, they come once a month.
Once a month.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But they also clean the Airbnbs.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So those people are loyal. They do a good job because they got not just one business, they take you the hot personal business, they take your other business as well.
Exactly.
I love that because that breeds loyalty. The more you feed a person.
Exactly. No, and that's the goal. So whenever I have somebody do something for me, I say, hey, look, please do business with me like you want to continue to do business.
Yeah.
Because once you do business with me, my goal is to give you enough business so where you can feed your family. And I and you, we become really important to each other. You know, so that's why the cleaner that cleans our house does the Airbnbs.
Absolutely.
You know, that's why the probate guy that's pulling probates and non-disclosures and all that good stuff down at the courthouse and bankruptcies and divorces, he's also helping us with the grasses. Because my job as a leader is to make sure everybody eats. Wow. You know, is to make sure everybody eats.
Yeah.
You know, and if I can do that, bro, you know, which is why nobody's snitching on Diddy right now.
Yeah.
you know, but that's our job is to make sure everybody eats. Yeah, make sure everybody eats.
Right. That is a figgity fact. Yo, so okay. No Diddy, by the way.
Oh my bad, I just did it.
Oh God. So look, all right. This is wild. All right, look, man, we're gonna have to clip that out. Yo, so wait a minute. So okay, so let's go back to these family dynamics. So so what about during the weekdays? What do the weekdays look like in terms of running a household?
My wife stays at home. Okay, gotcha. So a long time ago, like when I figured out that I was quitting my 9-to-5, wife, you're at home. Actually, even before that, because we was at the car dealership and she was still at home. So honestly, it was really in the preparation of me knowing that this is the kind of household I want to have. Gotcha. You know, she was at home.
Gotcha.
I can't remember how many years, because I worked at the car dealership for 4 years. I can't remember how many years she was at home, but at least for a year and a half. But so my wife stays at home, gotcha. and that's huge because you know she's a homemaker. You know, she makes the home a home as far as cleaning, as far as cooking, as far as laundry. Because I mean, with 6 kids, there's laundry, bro.
Bro, that's like a full-time job.
Bro, it's laundry. Yeah, and that's no joke. I mean, socks never match.
You stole mine.
Bro, it's legit. Yeah. But she really holds it down in the household because our kids, they aren't AB honor roll because of her.
Wow.
Because I'm holding it down. Yeah. When they get out of school, I'm holding it down, making sure I'm doing business. You know, making sure I'm at REIA meetings, making sure I'm making my own meetings, Absolutely. Making sure I'm training people, making sure I'm closing deals. You know, like I said, we closed 12 houses over the last 5 days. So imagine how much pressure that is on me.
Facts.
And so imagine, you know, so she is able to take all of that pressure of the kids, you know what I'm saying, off of me while I'm going through that, you know, and she does a lot. I'm grateful for her because I don't know if I could do it without her.
Nah, bro. Yeah, it would be impossible. Yeah. So wait a minute. So okay, so she handles the household just in general.
Absolutely, everything.
She loves that.
Absolutely. So with kids field trips, I don't know when kids field trips are. I don't.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah,
straight up.
You know,
just hear about how good it was.
Yeah. Well, she tells me, she typically puts it on my calendar because she does want me to be at some of them. She doesn't expect me to be at all of them. But she does put it on my calendar. Says, hey, look, we're going on a field trip tomorrow. You know, are you coming or what? You know, so now I'm grateful. See, at first I didn't go. At first, maybe for the first 3 years of me being a full-time real estate investor, I didn't go on trips, field trips and stuff like that. But at some point, I had to really look back at why did I quit my job at the car dealership? Because the car dealership was working 60 hours, working from 9 to 9. I didn't have a lot of time for church, didn't have a lot of time for family. So I really had to think back, why did I quit? And I didn't quit so I could work more. I quit so I could have time freedom, so I could delegate that $100,000, so I could spend more time, so I could tithe more, those kind of things. And so at that point, when I look back at that, I did start going to more field trips. And honestly, field trips are the best networking you'll ever get. Absolutely. You know, that's those parents. So our kids go to private school. They go to Vandalia Christian School. Shout out to VCS. But so, you know, at private schools, all of those guys are business. They got business, you know.
Absolutely.
And so literally they're like the best networking sessions you could ever have.
Facts.
You know.
Well, you there with the rich people, I mean with the people with the bread.
Oh, that's a fact. And that's a fact. Those are your lenders right there. Those are your lenders right there. And well, once again, I didn't realize that until I had that realization, you know. And then I I made them, they're just big networking parties, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, listen, I just want everybody, I got to give a special time for my sponsor. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So listen, if you haven't already, make sure you go to ice10k.com. That's ice10k.com. Get your savings and earnings report. And right now, we're going to go ahead and give a little bit of time to let ET go ahead and break down exactly why that's important.
Listen to me, y'all. But one of his mentees took us through one of their programs, and I paid off my mortgage. But guess what happened? My marriage went to a whole nother level. And you know why? Because my wife is a security freak. And even when I blew up, my wife would be like, oh, you blew up, but how long is you gonna keep making this kind of money? I was like, I don't know, forever. She's like, you sure? Because I'm gonna keep my license as a nurse just in case you don't. So when I paid the house off, my boy was like, you ain't gotta do that, you can do this. But when I paid the house off using that program, it took the stress level all the way down for my wife because we no longer had a mortgage. Does that make sense? That thing that was coming every month, that was getting on her nerves, we didn't have that no more. And so she was at rest.
Let's get it. I love that.
Indeed.
I love that.
Listen, if you're struggling with your CRM, you don't know who called, when they call, why they call, you're not documenting your process, make sure you take a listen to our next sponsor, Taskify, to make sure that they get you straight.
Hey, what's up, everybody? A lot of people struggle in their business when it comes to real estate or just any business in general. Reason being because they probably using a pen pad, Excel sheet. You got to realize you got to treat your business like a business. Make sure you check out Taskify CRM. It's a CRM system. It texts and drips campaign, email. You can actually sign contracts within your CRM. I use Taskify CRM. If you want to check out the CRM that I use right now, make sure you check out that QR code, scan it with your phone. It'll show you inside of what we're using today. If you want to take your business to the next level, check out Taskify CRM. Peace.
So, man, what's next for Sawand, bro?
Honestly, I just want to continue I love my business. I love my real estate business. I love, teaching the students that I'm teaching. Mm-hmm. I'm loving it. So I don't see myself really changing anything right now. One thing I have recently put in but it goes along right with what people sub out some of their student work to me. So like, so if Jamel Gibbs, if he doesn't want to do one-on-one clients, I was like, bro, don't not do one-on-one. Just sub it out to me. Absolutely. You sell the one-on-one and I teach them. So I have picked that up, but I love helping people. I haven't gotten burnt out from that yet, thank God. And I love my real estate business. So my goal is still to build up a portfolio of 250 houses. And I at one point I got up to 70. I sold a bunch, and so now I'm at 58. But my goal is still to build up a rental portfolio. And my goal is still to do 50 to 60 houses a year. And my goal is to help at least 20 people in the year do their first deal. So. I'm honestly loving what I'm doing. I
love it.
Yeah.
It sounds like you've kind of baked in a model that kind of works for what you're trying to do.
Oh yeah, because that's one thing I learned from Jamel. He said you can make a lot of money, and it does not have to take a lot of time. And I love that because I'm down here. We rolling.
Yeah.
We rolling.
Yeah,
I got videos and stuff coming in from my contractors.
Yeah.
I sent out wires yesterday for some deposits.
Yeah.
I'm calling Amex because I'm like, yo, bro, I'm trying to make deposits on these roofs. We're doing 6 roofs next week.
Wow.
So it's
so you still are doing the roofs.
Somewhat. I dibble and dab.
Gotcha.
You see, but I make with the roofing sales though. I really only help investors. I really only help investors because it's it's claims. So they keep new houses coming.
Absolutely.
They don't know anything about the process. So it's extremely easy for me to manage if I'm helping investors. And it's really just my close knit. Miss Anna. It's really just a close knit group. Yeah. So
what are you doing? Okay, so tell me the students. Because I know that students, I've had, thank God, I've had fairly good relationships with all of them. But what are you doing in those situations where, you have a riff? I mean, how are you managing that? Because I mean,
when I have a student that doesn't perform,
or just negative, or just whatever. What's your process?
Well, I do the same thing they did at the dealership. I cuss them out. Okay, I cuss them out. It's just what it is. That's what they did at the dealership, and it either ran them away or caused them to level up. Yeah. And so and that's just, and I tell people that before they even sign up. I'm an asshole. Yeah. And just understand that we're in a relationship. So for the next 90 days, we're going to be talking to each other multiple times a week. Yeah. And if you can't deal with working with an asshole, I'm telling you, this is not it. This is not it. Ain't it. Yeah. Because if we met on Monday, and we're supposed to meet again on the following Monday, but you had to complete something before we met in order to move forward, and you didn't do it, you can't cuss the fuck out. And I record all of them, and then I'll put them up on my Patreon for other people to see, so they can see me cussing them out. Damn. Yes, because it wasn't me. It was you. It was you. It was you. So I record everybody, and I'll put up on Patreon. Everybody can see everybody's mentorship calls for $7 a month. And they can see how I cuss the people out. Damn. Yeah, absolutely. But we pray for people too. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Because ultimately you want people to win.
Absolutely.
And sometimes, honestly, bro, what I realized in coaching and training, is that sometimes to get the best results, you got to have some level of accountability.
You do. No, absolutely.
If you're too lackadaisical, people just drop the ball.
Absolutely. No, they think it's okay. They think it's okay. I actually text Lacey this morning, and I say, yo, bro, send me your website, your Facebook page, and your Google business page that you're supposed to create so I can review. Mind you, I'm in Texas on vacation, and I'm asking you to send that. Yeah. I haven't done that yet. And I said, bullshit. And I haven't responded back yet. I said, bullshit. Bullshit. And it's not that, I pray. This is what it did for me at the dealership. Mm-hmm. When those guys came down hard on us like that, I feel like, dang, I let myself down.
Absolutely.
They expected more out of me.
Absolutely.
I need to get this done.
And if you want to rock with winners, you got to move in a winner fashion.
Absolutely.
And winners ain't making excuses.
Absolutely. And see, if I let it go, I feel like they'll say, well, dang, he must be, if he's okay, if he didn't say nothing about that, he's okay because he's done that before. That's the kind of stuff he's doing. And it's like, no, nigga.
I'm not all right.
That's not all right. If we want to make $1 million or $3 million, whatever your goal is, and you want to have employees, and you want to have these houses, and you want to make a certain amount of money, and you want your wife to look up to you like you're the man of her dreams, and you want your kids to look up to you, and you know what I mean? And you want to have all of this shit that God promised you. Yeah. You're going to have to be held accountable.
Absolutely.
And that's the only way I know how to do it. So, like I said, I don't know if it's the right or wrong thing to do, but that's how I handle it. And that's how I do it.
Ultimately, I know I'm having those conversations with myself. Yeah. If I drop the ball, I ain't blaming. I ain't looking for nobody to blame.
Right. Exactly.
I'm cussing me out.
Exactly. Don't bring me no excuse. What are you talking about? I didn't do this because? No, you didn't do it. You didn't do it. You let yourself down.
That's it.
Yeah, you are choosing to keep yourself away from your future self.
Facts.
Your future self is waiting for you. What's going on?
Wow, that's amazing. So tell me this, man. I know we got the Black Expo today.
Absolutely.
You're speaking at it.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. Well, I'm actually speaking on a panel with Los about creative finance.
Nice.
One of my claims to fame that I love, is being able to negotiate terms, being able to have the seller, take the back seat, go on the deed of trust as a mortgage, and you come on as the owner. Creating a mortgage. I like the creation part. I love that. And of course the subject to portion where you step in and you take over mortgages. So what I believe that I have different than most other people is the way we pitch our company is programs. And just most people aren't doing that. Even in my market, that's typically how we win out.
What do you mean program?
Okay, so every business has a program. So when people say like, well, do you know about those down payment assistance programs? Well, they're not really a program. It's really a business.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And they're pitching it to people as a program. And so we pitch ourselves as a program. So we have a down payment assistance program, subject to. you see what I'm saying? You know, and so that's kind of what I'm sharing.
I love that. I love that. You know, you basically officialize what you're doing.
Exactly. I'm giving them exactly what they think they need.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
Absolutely.
Man, I just want to say thank you, bro, for coming out and having this conversation with me today, man. It's been an honor and an absolute pleasure.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
It's always a pleasure when we get together,
absolutely.
though, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah, y'all my guys, man. I wish I was around. I got to get around y'all more because honestly, it's the right vibe.
You got to pull up, bro. You got to pull up. So tell me this. Where can people find you if they're looking to get more information from you and what you got coming up next that you may want to shout out?
Okay, absolutely. So if you want to find me, this is me taking action on Instagram and YouTube. I'm putting a lot of effort into my YouTube channel right now.
I've seen that. I've been liking the video.
That's what's up. I'm putting a lot of effort into that. But if you guys would like to, get into mentorship, you can apply because I only allow 6 to 7 people in at a time. You can apply for mentorship at thisismetakinaction.com. And that's where I help you guys get your first deal in 90 days. So, and once again, we do that because I'm your main cash buyer. I teach you how to market. I teach you how to sell. And then, of course, I give you the number that you need based off of the comps. And I do that in front of you. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, man, I just want to say thank you. Honor and pleasure. And you have officially been on the No Stingy Energy podcast, man. Thank y'all. And I'll see y'all later. Peace.
Peace.